Welcome to SETC Training's video on creating templates with Microsoft Word. If you need training on anything at all, from business skills to advanced technical know-how, please visit us on the web at www.setctraining.com. We customize any course and will guarantee dates for as few as 2 people. All right, let's get started. I guess the first thing to discuss is exactly how do styles get imported into a new Word document. So here I have a new document that was just created called Existing Doc. It has a series of styles already available to the document. So for example, if I do a data analysis title, then I do a Control-Shift-S and use the title style. Well, the title style is associated with specific formatting. So as you can see, that formatting corresponds to a Sego UI font in size 14, in bold and left aligned. But the question is, where exactly is this defined? How does a document know where these formats are or what they correspond to? And the answer to that question is the normal document template. You see, the default styles of a document are imported into a document when a document is initially created. So when I created this document called Existing Doc, a series of styles came and were imported into the document. Styles such as title, subtitle, heading 1, heading 2, right up to heading 6, and so on. But the question for this video presentation is, how do we modify those default styles so that going forward the default formatting maps to our standard formatting for our organization? Maybe we would even like to add standard headers and footers. So that's what we're going to do here. But the first thing is clearly to figure out where exactly this file is stored. So the first thing I'm going to do is open that normal document template. So I'm going to go over here to the File menu, and I'm going to click on Open, and then I'm going to click on Browse. Now, as you can see, it goes, in my case, to the default documents folder. What I need to do is navigate over to the C Users directory. So I'm going to do that. But on top of that, I need to know what account I'm logged in as. In my case, I'm logged in as account student. So I'm simply going to add student to the path. Under student, we then navigate to the app data folder. And under app data, there's a directory called roaming. Under roaming, we go to Microsoft and then to templates. So to recap, I went to the users directory under my C drive. Then I went to the subdirectory that maps to my account name. I'm logged in as student, so it's called student. And under that, we go to app data, roaming, Microsoft, templates. And in that location, you'll find a file called normal, and it will be shown as a Microsoft Word macro-enabled template. That is where all the default styles are stored for a Microsoft Word document. So I simply double-click on that file to open it up. Now let's assume that I want to change the styles for title and heading 1. So this is my title, and I'd like to change its styling. So the first thing I'm going to do is put it in the target style. So I'm going to hit the Shift key and the Home key, then the Control-Shift-S key, and then go over and use the style called title and press enter. Now that I've got it in the target style, I'm free to format it as I want. So for example, I might want to center it. I might want to change its size to 16. I might want to change the font used to, let's say, Calibri. And maybe I want to add an italic to the style. Now you'll note that now I have the style that I'm looking for. So how do I update the style to reflect those changes? Well, this is the same thing as if you were to do it in a document. You simply go over here to your Apply Styles dialog box and click on the Styles button. And then with the modified text selected, you right-click on the style that you want to modify, and you simply click on Update Title to match selection. And just like that, your title now takes on the desired format. And I'm going to do the same thing, exact thing, for my heading 1. All right? So I select by doing a Shift Home. I go over here to my Style dialog box and make sure it's in Style Heading 1. You can see there's a style associated with it. Then I make the modification. So let's say assume that I want to remove the underline. I want to make the text bold. Okay, maybe I want to change the style so it's a bit smaller than my heading. So let's say to 14. And maybe, just maybe, I want to change the paragraph spacing. So I go over here to paragraph, and I make sure that the spacing before is, let's say, 12 point and after is 6 point. Now that I've made the modifications I want, with my text selected, I simply right-click on heading 1, and I update heading 1 to match the selection. So I could keep doing this clearly for all of my styles, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, my numbered list. Any styles that I create in Normal will automatically be copied into any new documents. But that's the key, right? Only documents going forward will reflect these changes. Any historical documents that have been previously saved using the previous styles will not be affected by these changes. Now, the last thing I have to do before I save my Normal template and close it is get rid of any text that I may have added, because if I don't, that exact same text will appear in any new document that I create. With that in mind, we had said we might want to add a common footer. So let's do that. Let's scroll down. Let's double click on the footer and let me add a copyright statement, for example. So Charquette Technology Associates, right? Copyright 2018. Maybe I want to center that, so I go over here to Home and I center it. And maybe I want to make it italicized, so I simply click here on Italic. Right? I double click on the text. What I've got is I've got my standard footer. I've got my styles modified. I can now hit Control S to save it, or of course File Save. And I can now file and close the Normal template. Now note what happens. Let me close the existing file that I have. Let me create a brand new document. Right? Now if I scroll down, you'll note that my footer, my standard footer, has been automatically added to my new document. If I add a title, right, and I put it in title style, you'll note that the exact style that I defined is used. And in the same way, the heading 1 is followed as well. And in this way, I've made sure that all future documents will use the exact same style, which will in turn allow me to easily modify any future documents, and which will of course reduce my workload in making sure that my standard formatting is maintained throughout all my documents. This has been SETC Training's video on creating Microsoft Word document templates. For any of your training needs, please contact us at www.setctraining.com. Thank you so much for your attention, and have a wonderful day.